Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Leaks 4 video. Today I want to showcase a little trick you can do while you're doing your Barrows grind using Last Recall that is really going to speed up your kills. Now, if you've played Leaks before, you probably already know about this. This might seem kind of obvious, but if you're new or if this is your first time doing Barrows in a Leaks, this trick is absolutely phenomenal. It will save you a ton of time and will really speed up your Barrows grind, and to me personally, it just made it a lot more fun. I've been doing a lot of Barrows lately on my melee character, and this trick really is it's absolutely the key to speeding up your kills. So you can see here that I'm just about wrapping up a full run of Barrows. I got 5 of the brothers dead, off to Dharok to go do the last one. And typically I would have to go through this whole tunnel network. And honestly, this is probably the worst part of Barrows is actually getting through it, going through all the doors and whatnot to try to get to the center. And this is also where you're going to run into the last brother, of course, and you're going to kill them so that you can get, your maximum rewards. One thing I'll take the time and say right now is that some people have been asking me about, like, why do I only kill the 6 brothers and get to 66%? That's actually the highest amount that you need to get loot. Killing skeletons and grub worms and all that stuff, it only increases, like, your chance at, like, runes and stuff like that. And, we're not really here for runes. So, I don't really care about that. I'm just here basically to loot the chest. So at the end of the run, obviously I'll search my chest, get nothing, as always. And now instead of actually going out and, basically starting the run again, instead what I can go ahead and do is I can actually use, like, let's say my Globetrotter pendant, and I can actually do the Barrows teleport. And what this will essentially do is that now I'm at the beginning, everything is reset. So if I go back and I start like a new run all over again, you can see we just did Dharok, right? And that led to tunnel. Now Dharok will actually spawn and we're basically in our new run. Good to go, right? We can go do all the brothers all over again. However, the key part about this and why this is so important is because since we teleported out of the Barrows crypt, when we actually go and start our new run all over again, we actually don't need to go do the whole maze because our last recall is already saved to that last tomb. So when I finally do kill Dharok, obviously I would do a full run if I was actually showing it. But let's say I just go ahead and I can actually last recall and teleport back into the Barrows crypt. And I've killed Dharok. So now I can search the chest. We'll have one brother spawn, as always, in that last chest. So we'll go ahead and kill Aram here. Just, why not? Because he's here anyways, right? Might as well increase our chance at loot. And now with 2 brothers dead, I can actually go ahead and just loot the chest for rewards. Obviously, our rewards here are pretty bad because we only killed 2. But yeah, it's a lot faster when you can just skip the maze like this. Now, the next step about this is, what if you need to get your prayer back up, right? Or let's say you don't have Globetrotter. Well, you can also teleport to your house. So in this case, I would be teleporting with my Globetrotter to my house, but you can also use, just regular runes or anything. And what I can actually do is I can go ahead and pray at my altar. Now my last recall has saved the Barrows crypt, and from my house, I can actually go ahead and teleport once again to Barrows with the Globetrotter amulet. And the interesting thing here is that now I haven't actually reset, or I haven't written over my save, because your house is an instance, so it can't actually save that. So if I wanted to, and I teleport back with last recall, I'll go back to the crypt. I'm not going to go back to my house. I'm going to go to the crypt. I haven't killed any brothers, so it hasn't actually reset yet, right? But this trick is really nice if you need to go restore your prayer or anything like that. You can go to your house, get your prayer back up, and then from here you can go ahead and teleport. Now, how can we actually get to the Barrows? Well, of course, if you have the Globetrotter amulet, this comes with the RCS teleport to Barrows, so you can very easily do that. In addition, if you're on the RCS spellbook, you can just go ahead and teleport to the Barrows. I think it requires 83 magic. Yep, 83 magic and 60% RCS favor, which should really take you no time at all. Now, if you wanted to, you could also put a portal in your player-owned house. I don't have one here, but I could very easily have a portal chamber and redirect one of those portals to Barrows. So I could do this trick very simply, praying at my altar and then running to, let's say at a portal chamber here, I would just take the portal there, right? Very simple. Okay, let's say I don't have Globetrotter, right? Which is obviously a relic. You might have gone with Fairy Flight. Let's say I don't have Zaya, so I can't unlock the RCS spellbook. Well, the other option that you can do is actually with Mauritania Legs. I believe Mauritania Legs 3. You can go ahead and teleport to Bergdarat instead. It's not as close, but from here you can kind of easily make the run over to Barrows. It'll probably take like 15 to 20 seconds, but it's an option. You can do this as well. And if you don't want to do your Mauritania diary, but you're very stubborn and you really want to go get Barrows for whatever reason, as a final resort, you can go ahead and teleport to this fairy ring BKR. and then run down to the Bodhi over here, which will take you over here, and then you do a small run. Now, this is kind of a long trip, but it's not too bad, honestly. It's it's a little worse than the Bergderot teleport, but it's an option if you're really desperate to get your Barrows going. Now, probably the most important thing when you're doing this is to always be careful you don't overwrite your last recall. So anytime you need to do something that might be, let's say, let's say you need 2 teleports. So for example, maybe you're going to, your house, right? And it's to restore your prayer, but now you need to go to the bank instead. Maybe you running out of food or something, or you're too much inventory from all those duplicate Thorax pieces. Well, again, I can go over to like the Grand Exchange and teleport here, but now I have to be really careful because if I went from here and I teleport to the Barrows, I would overwrite my last recall, right? So what I can kind of do, and I can really abuse last recall here, is to teleport once again back to the crypt. And then from here, I can go ahead and teleport to Barrows again, using whatever method you're using, and then I can start. And now my last recall, basically because I've done it in 2 cycles, now my last recall is saved back at the crypt, so I can teleport back to the crypt as needed. And this is useful if maybe you don't have an altar in your house, or if you're using something like the Ferox Enclave Pool of Rejuvenation. Maybe you're using the Desert Diary, like the statue over in Narda. You just want to be careful not to teleport twice, or else you're going to overwrite your save here. Always make sure you're last recalling back, with the exception of the house, which kind of functions as like a purgatory state that you can't last recall to, so you can't overwrite your last recall from your house. Now, finally, one thing that this does enable is that, if you are doing Barrows, typically the strategy is you always want to be doing all 6 of them. That's kind of the fastest way because you're getting more rolls, increasing the chance. But if you are very keen about farming just one, let's say, I really want to complete my Guthan set, or, I want to get this last Guthan's plate body, right? Well, what I can do is, because this is so fast, it becomes kind of like an option now that you can just go and do the brother that you want. You can just kill them, just do the one that you want. And then once you've killed them, very quickly go ahead and last recall to the chest. Typically, this would be a little bit inefficient because you'd be doing the whole maze again. And again, I can't say 100% whether this is fully efficient just because the math of the Barrows chest is a little wacky and stuff like that. But what I would do is, like, let's say if you're farming one, just kill the one that you need. Maybe kill like one brother here anyways. If it only takes you like couple seconds anyways, I'm kind of missing a lot here, but so it's kind of taking a lot more time than usual. But now, I've just killed 2 brothers, and I can go ahead, search the chest. And even though my chance is going to be really low, I'm able to get these like really fast runs off where I can basically just go right back to it, head back over to Guthan's, and keep going, just doing these like really, really fast runs that are just going to be a lot faster than searching 5 or 6 chests. I can basically just go right here. And let's say this was like a tunnel, for example. Well, now I know Guthan's at the end, so I can just kill Guthan, head back to the thing, or basically, like, sorry, if this was a tunnel, then I would just last recall back. I know Guthan's at the end. I kill him, get the chest. Super easy. So yeah, once again, last recall back. Go ahead and check the chest again. These are just really, really quick runs, and if you're going for all of them, which I would encourage you to do, you can definitely do that. But this is just a nice way of farming, like kind of target farming whichever brother you're going for. Now, if you are doing, the very, very fast strat where you're just killing one brother, teleporting back, or if you're doing like chain teleports, well, maybe we're teleporting to an altar, then you're teleporting back, teleporting to the Barrows, you may need to have your last recall. You might need to have like the 1800 total level to get the instant last recall. If you're just doing a regular run of the Barrows and maybe teleporting to your house into Barrows, you can very easily probably do this at like 1500 or maybe even 1200, depending on how long it takes you to do a full run. But even with a 1 minute cooldown of last recall, I was doing this just fine. I would only encourage you to get the 1800 if you're just like just doing quick kills of one brother, basically. But anyways, guys, that's it for this video. Really nice quick one just to help you out with your Barrows. Hopefully this helped, because I know a lot of people have been coming in basically every day to my stream, basically asking like, oh, how do you do that? How do you do that? So yeah, just wanted to showcase it, help you guys out. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.